Griffin!
Woo!
Look at
Yeah.
everybody. Look at that. Happy Friday. Look, everybody's on camera. It's awesome.
Yeah.
My
So,
internet's down, so I'm on my phone. Okay, thank you.
huh?
I said my internet is down, so I'm on my phone.
I know. It's
Do,
okay.
do, do you like this angle? Is this what you want? Go on.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent. We're winning. Everything is fine. Hi guys, how are you doing?
We're good.
Happy Friday.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Woohoo!
it's Friday. You know?
Yeah. Andrew texted. He said he's going to be here in a minute. He was like, "Start without me." I'm like, "Man, he always says that. He says that every Friday." He was like, "I'm late."
Start with
So Todd, since Andrew's not here yet,
Yeah.
which that the rest of us might actually get a chance to speak.
It's true. This is true. He's very long-winded, that guy.
So here's my question I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
So, you know how with modern movies, you know, if you want to, you know, with a soundtrack, you either have to pay a musician and a composer and a band to play it, or you know, spend money to license music from like from existing art. And let's say that artist doesn't like you because of your politics, your face, or because you had sex with his sister at some point. I'm not saying I did that, although a gentleman never talks, never kisses and tells. But
Probably wouldn't apply to you.
yeah, whatever. So anyway, here's the thing. So let's say you got a movie, you need a soundtrack for it, and you're too cheap to to hire Hans Zimmer, or the guy did the Star Wars theme, and you don't feel like paying like a modern pop star because you think they all suck.
Mm-hmm.
Could you use AI just to generate your own soundtrack if you wanted to? You know?
Yeah. I mean, as long as you're not like, involving or messing up somebody's copyright, you absolutely could.
All right. Well, so would that get you in trouble with the creative community because they don't like AI because they think it's going to take their job?
Oh,
Probably will.
yeah. Well, I mean, the creative community. Let me. Here's my take. I think the argument. What's that?
I said go ahead. I'm
Okay.
trying to pump a rant out of you.
Okay, yes, you're getting a rant out of me. I think the argument, we've talked about this a little bit before, but I think the argument against AI is stupid. Aside from all of the, horror and terror and what it actually means, um, MK says, "LOL, John Williams, the guy who did the Star Wars thing."
Right.
Yeah. Uh, uh, I think here's my problem with it is like I've lived enough in the creative field and done enough that like I've seen this story before like a dozen times. I first saw this same freak out that the creative community had on technology when Photoshop came around, like Photoshop 4 when that was the one that kind of hit or whatever, and like I had friends in college who were like, "Oh my God, the typesetters are going to run out of, they're never going to work again. And all the designers they're going to lose their jobs. This is terrible, blah, blah, blah." And then they all had to adopt it and they hated it because they had to adopt it to get work. And then they excelled at it. And then they got more work and there were more. And now there's like font collections and all kinds of stuff. Like everything they thought was going to happen did not happen, or at least not the way they thought it was going to happen. And then when I was in animation, I started off in 2D animation, so hand-drawn traditional animation. And when 3D came around into broadcast production, it was like, oh no, it's 3D. Like it's going to take all of our jobs and all of this kind of stuff. And it's going to destroy animation. Well, no, it didn't destroy animation. It was just a different way to do it. And then when Flash came around, which is now vector animation, which is now the way it is done, oh no, like it's going to take away the hand-drawn feel of it and it's not going to work the same and da 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 da. Like it was the same thing over and over and over and over again. And you just get to a point where you're just like, fuck you guys. Like it's such a stupid argument. It's not a real argument anyway, because you can go back. At what point does it become not digital or not artificial intelligence, right? Like, okay, so now there's a machine learning and it'll develop an image or it'll develop a song or it can develop a style, and there's a artificial intelligence behind the decision making. Okay, like 99% of the people creating nowadays don't use traditional media. They use digital media. They use Procreate. They use Clip Studio Paint. They use Photoshop. They use whatever. Like if they make a mistake, they just hit Command Z and delete it. Like that's like a traditional painter saying, well, you're not really a painter because you get to delete your fucking mistakes. Like at what point, you see what I'm saying? Like it's all digital nowadays. It's all fake. It's just real to you because you don't have a problem with it and you grew up with it. So my kids, you know, like the next generation is going to look at AI creativity and they're not going to see, and they're not going to have any bias towards it. Like not at all. They're going to be like, what do you mean? This has always been around and it's just the way things are done. Right. And doesn't mean you won't be able to do traditional work. It doesn't mean you won't be able to do traditional animation or traditional music. You know, it's just going to be, there's going to be different styles and different ways to make the work you want to make. So I think it's just a complete straw man argument, and it's a way.
Yeah.
What it really is a way for creative people who are fearful of their position or who have a lot of self-doubt. It's a way for them to kind of cope and really sort of like. I think it just reflects on them. I think it reflects on them on a negative way that they don't see enough of themselves. And ultimately, here's the deal. Like, and I'm seeing this now because I'm doing a lot of AI video right now and AI animation stuff. As we're working on the adult fantasy show, like producing it, and I'm looking at all of these AI shorts and these AI films. Creating a cool dramatic shot is no longer a problem. Okay, like I'm seeing every single AI video has really cool dramatic shots. And yet 99% of these videos and these little short films are absolute trash. They're horrible. They're awful. It's a pain. It's painful to watch. And the reason is because, like, great, AI solved the image problem. You can make things look really cool, but it doesn't solve the storytelling part. That's the heart of everything. If you're a phenomenal, talented, say, comic book artist and you're a great storyteller, you're going to be fine. If you're a phenomenal storyteller and you can't draw and you use AI to help you with your imagery, you're going to be fine. If you use AI but you don't know how to tell a story, you're fucked. Like you're totally screwed because everyone can make a great image now. So the only thing separating great imagery from great imagery is a phenomenal story or a good story or an entertaining story. So I think it's just going to focus. I think you're going to see an explosion of creativity with real talent. Like I think AI is actually a level playing field. I'll put it one more thing, little cherry on top. I have seen more, like there are more people talking about comics and making comics and animation than I have ever seen in my entire life. And it's because they have access to tools that they didn't have before. They don't have the technical skill. Maybe they were drawing when they were teenagers and had to get a real job and all this kind of stuff, and they weren't able to continue with their creative, you know, their creative passion or whatever. But now the field is being leveled. And they're still novices, bro. Like they didn't spend 20, 30 years in storytelling. So they're going to have to learn the ropes. You're going to see some brilliant kids come up, man. Some kids who would have never been able to do it without these tools, just because of their geographic location or their family life. Maybe they came from a poor family and couldn't go to art school or something. Like, you know, there's going to be a bunch of new people, and there's going to be new creative talents and all this stuff. It's not going to take away from anything, though. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. So with that in mind, let me follow up with two more questions. Mm-hmm. First, do you think, you know, because this to my mind is the like almost a perfect example of creative destruction. And with the destruction thing, do you think like the traditional gatekeepers, that is like the big publishing companies, big comic book companies, the big movie studios, TV studios, and so on, because they can no longer really gatekeep a lot of this stuff because there's ways to get it out there which they don't control. Do you think they're going to survive, or do you think they're going to adapt to it? And the second question, of course, is you mentioned, are there great comic book artists who can't tell a story to save their life?
Okay, so the second one first. Yeah, there are tons of great comic artists that can't tell a story. Everyone has different skill sets, right? Some people are really, really good. Like I would say most professional comic artists, and Avery could jump in on this too. My thought would be that most great comic artists are actually not really good at writing. They're good at visual storytelling, but they're not good at creating stories or sculpting stories because that's not their skill set. Their skill set is the craft of the shot, and they're directors, right? They're not screenwriters. There are, and I would even say that the best comic book artists, the legends, your Will Eisners, your Frank Millers, they're not actually that technically good. Like they're kind of shitty, man. Like artistically, like Frank Miller is not that good. So he does good stuff. He's done phenomenal stuff. There's definitely brilliance in there. Don't get me wrong, but he's not like Jim Lee. You know what I mean? Like he's not
Yeah.
technically perfect.
No. He knows how to. He knows how to show you what he needs to show you in a very clear, dramatic way. But it's technically not the most anatomically correct drawing you've ever seen, or the most detailed, correct perspective you've ever seen. But he's an amazing storyteller, and he knows how to craft that story, and he knows how to light that story. You know, the lighting in his drawings is usually amazing, and that's where he excels, as because he's the writer and the artist of so many things. He knows how to make the image and the words tie together perfectly.
So, all right, then. So, related to my first question, then, what do you think on the whole gatekeeping thing?
I think so. I think Hollywood is in trouble, but not because of AI specifically. I think Hollywood is in deep trouble because their faults are about to be shown now. Meaning, what Hollywood had to its advantage was 150 to $300 million budget movies, blockbusters with explosions and lights and sound and drama, action, set design, all of the stuff that actually costs a shit ton of money is now useless to them because I can do it. You can do it. Anybody can make a $100 million shot now. You can right now for $29 a month, you can generate a few shots that would cost a studio $150,000 a minute, right? So, and they actually someone did a breakdown. I wish I had it up, but like, they compared a couple shots. They basically took shots from feature films like Star Wars or something, and then recreated it in AI, and it wasn't perfect. Like they created like the Endgame scene where where Thanos snaps his fingers and everyone disappears. They recreated the disappear effect in AI, and it was like, this shot cost $150,000 or $200,000 or $500,000 a second or whatever it was, and this one over here cost $9.95. Like that's how done Hollywood is in terms of effects. The MK says budgets exactly, and MK says level playing field. That's the thing. The reason why Hollywood's in trouble is because they've had a massive crutch that they've leaned on, which is the visuals and the sound and the design. That advantage is now gone. And what's left is what I was saying before when it comes to anything. It's the storytelling and the story. And Hollywood right now can't tell a story for its fucking life. They only have three things. Hollywood, a blockbuster feature film is three things. It's the storytelling and the story, right? It's the IP, because that's the way it's been now for the last 20 years. They're not creating IPs. They've been just licensing stuff. So it's the IP with baked in audiences, and it's the blockbuster budgets for the effects and the sounds and all that. The blockbuster budgets, the sounds and all that is gone. The IP they still have, but that's faltering. Marvel is faltering. All these things are faltering. Why? Because it can't tell a story. Plus, there are all these new IPs that are being built all the time, Mr. Beast style, through social media. So all of the new IPs are being built now through YouTube and all this other stuff, Hollywood will absolutely try to license it, of course, but they're not going to be creating it, so they're missing out there. And then the last part, the real advantage is the storytelling, and they're not good at it right now. They have way too many. There are so many rules and regulations in terms of who you have to hire. Like, do yourself a favor one day and go look at the actual boxes. They literally have a literal checklist with boxes that you have to check off in order for you to be for your film to be qualified to get like Oscars and all kinds of stuff. Like, and it's all the kind of stuff you would expect, all the political stuff that is crippling everything. It's like you have to have X number of minorities here, you have to have this here, you have to have a woman in the leading role. It has to be. It's so strict. It has become so strict that you can only tell certain stories certain ways, and that is antithetical to good storytelling because there's no suspense, there's no drama, right? Like if you have a female lead in an action movie, she's always going to win, because if it gets too, if the bad guys take her out too hard, then it's abusive, right? So there's all these things, and it's a huge problem. I'm not saying all these rules are bad, right? But they've become so many and so strict that what's happening is like people can't tell stories anymore because they have this guideline that they have to follow, and that guideline means that every single story kind of has to be the same, and it has to follow the same, whatever, activist this or storytelling that, whatever it is. It locks these stories into. This is why you're seeing so many like, gender swap characters and all the stuff, all of that. It's because they have to, in order to get like awards and more budgets and get their movie passed, and the unions, all of that is locked up in there. And so what that means is someone like you, someone like me, the teenager out there who's 19 and playing with these tools right now, they don't have any of that shit. They don't have to worry about any of it. Oh, SAG-AFTRA, like I have to, I'm gonna, the actors have to do this or that. Well, I'm gonna license a voice, or I'll generate a voice on my own, right? Or I'll license a famous person's voice, pay them a licensing fee for their voice, and have that character act in my film. So you're gonna see these budgets go away. Like the age of like 100 million, 200, 500 million. I think you're gonna see dozens of movies for like 10, 20, 30 million. Like it's going to come down, and they're going to have to, it's the same thing. It's the same thing that happened with South Park and Cartoon Network. I'll tell you that in a second. MK says, so literally YouTube platform is going to walk away the winner. You have everything you need. No barrier to upload, subscription, follow. So I know when the next drop is, link and comment fee. 100%. 100%. I think what like the Mr. Beastification, that is the future. All of those. Justin Bieber was the first Mr. Beast. Justin Bieber was a YouTube star and became a pop star. That crossover had never happened before. I believe he was the first one. There might have been one or two before him, but he was the first big YouTube star, and that I know of anyway. And so you own the distribution, you own the pipeline, you own the audience, right? Which is kind of the most important thing. And you get to tell the story you want to tell. And if it's too, risque for YouTube, well, there's Rumble, or there's TikTok, or there's X.
Or you can stream it yourself on your own site if you have, of course, it's a little more expensive.
Right. There's no stopping you. So there is no barrier anymore. And so you have now like these. Here's what happens. For my whole generation, right? Anyone that wanted to make a movie that was anti-Hollywood, or didn't kind of like fit into the Hollywood model, could only do certain movies because they didn't have the budget for it, right? This is your Kevin Smith, Clerks, Chasing Amy. You had documentaries, or you had low budget movies that didn't cost, like you weren't doing Star Wars, you were doing some other kind of movie. You could still make a shit ton of money, but it wasn't like these blockbuster movies. Well, now there's a direct competitor to the blockbuster movie, and that's a big, big, big problem for Hollywood, because Hollywood's going to be using the exact same tools that the regular public is going to be using. They might have more advanced tools, right? Like they have enough money to invest. They might actually get some things earlier, sooner, better, more exclusive.
But they're gonna be bogged down by all the internal rules.
They have rules. They have so many rules that you can only do certain things. And on top of that, not only that, they're going to be I think one of the biggest wins for independent creators is the fact that Hollywood like the Hollywood Guild, like all of the people that work in Hollywood, actors, screenwriters, everybody, because they're reacting so hard against AI, that means that their industry is going to be last to adopt. They don't understand what they're doing. Maybe they do, but like from my perspective, from my background, from seeing this happen in different fields, the people that scream the loudest and say, I'm never going to do that, you shouldn't do that either. One, they always lose. And two, they always lose their job not because they, there's like, oh, well, I'm not going to adapt and we're getting fired. It's because you didn't learn the fucking skill set. If you don't learn the skill set, you're going to get replaced. And so Hollywood is going to fall way behind because they can't hire AI. They can't use AI scenes. There's laws about that and rules about this. And they're throwing the book at this stuff, try to stop it. They're not stopping it. They're going to slow it down. Meanwhile, that whole industry can't touch independent people because I don't need anybody. I'm making a 2.5 minute short right now that has AI actors in it. Like I'm doing the voices, Melissa will be doing voices, you guys will do voice. Like we can just do it ourselves. Why do I need to get their permission? I don't have to have their permission.
I'm kind of in the same boat, well, maybe like a parallel boat when it comes to writing. I mean, I'll be honest. If I could clone myself and do like twice the amount of work in a single day, I'd be in the AI movie trenches right now because it looks like a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to work, and writing is my passion. So there's only so many hours in a day, and that's what I focus on.
Yep.
But I spent I don't know when I was like years trying to get published the traditional way, which basically was it used to be you would have to publish in a magazine when they still had like magazines for different fandoms. Then once you built up a track record, then you would be allowed to. Then you could hire an agent and publish a book, and maybe it would sell. Maybe it would be accepted, and maybe it would sell, or maybe you could submit it to a publisher, and it would sit in the slush pile for like a few years until someone bothered to read it.
Mm.
Indie publishing came around. All of a sudden, the doors were open. Anybody can publish a book. So I jumped through it. Now I haven't had a lot of success at it. I'm having more over the past couple of years because I finally learned how to advertise, but it's the same thing. Hey Doc, and but the thing is,
hello, friend.
Now,
hey, Zach, sorry to bump in, but I know Doc is calling from looks like a taxi in Dubai.
Yeah, I'm in a cab. Go ahead, man. Don't let me interrupt you. Please continue.
Are you sober, bro?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. Yeah, I'm just like, it's just been a long week, but I don't want to interrupt anybody, man. Go ahead.
All right.
So that's the thing is that the gatekeepers came down. Anybody could publish, and a few writers got some, and the ones who had real talent, not me apparently, but others, they were able to make a living at it, which is more than most writers can say. But now there's AI writing, and there are a lot of AI books out there. They're not very good.
Right.
But I think people who use them, they don't realize just what they're actually meant to be used for. It's not meant to write.
Right.
It's meant basically just to write the idea of the book. You still have to put in the work, but about like 70% of the work is now done for you. You come up with
see, that's the thing. Because you've written 14 or 15 novels, bro. Like you have an understanding of what goes into like completing a novel, and so you're able to use AI as an actual tool to shortcut some of the things that even if it's just to bootstrap the thing. So you understand where it fits into your own personal pipeline to get your vision and your job done.
Well, here's the thing. First off, I generally don't use AI just because I actually enjoy the process of writing.
Mm-hmm.
It brings me pleasure, so that's why I don't use AI. Not because I'm against it.
Mm.
But I am working on a project. I'm not going to tell anyone about it because it's a very personal project. But I am using AI to write it. It's under a different. It's under a different. It's going to be under a different pen name. It's going to be a little bit out there, and it's projected to be about 60 books long.
Oh God! Wow.
So it's going to take me a few years just to generate the content. Then I got to rewrite it. But here's the thing, though. But I could not do that if I wrote the normal way. That would be the work of a lifetime. Now it's just the work of a couple of years that I'm doing that I can do part time.
Right.
So yeah. I mean, Brave New World.
It's crazy, and to kind of circling back to finish my point, Zach. Like, in terms of like Hollywood versus like what's actually coming. When I was at Turner Studios, Cartoon Network, and I was at Turner when South Park launched, when South Park came out, and the reaction to South Park blew up like overnight. And what ended up happening at Cartoon Network was that, and if you can go look at the shows, Cartoon Network had all of these, they had Toonami, and they had like all the classic cartoon stuff like Ed, Edd and Eddy and Powerpuff Girls and all that kind of stuff, traditional cartoon shows. The second that South Park took over and became number one, all of those shows, like, I wouldn't say they stopped, but they changed their focus and launched Adult Swim. And what was on Adult Swim? C-Lab 2020, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, all of those shows, super low budget. All of those early shows were geared. They were like, well, one of these will knock out South Park. It didn't, but that's what they were doing, right? They had to say, oh, well, those guys they've got a number one show and they're spending like $5,000 an episode. We're spending $300,000. Why don't we just do 20 different cartoons and one of them will knock this other guy out? So they lowered all the budgets and just started launching concepts. And some of them were fantastic, Robot Chicken, all that kind of stuff. Like you can see a visual difference pre-South Park and post-South Park, at least at Cartoon Network. So I think you're going to see the same thing with Hollywood. Hollywood's going to have to compete. They're not going to be able, like, it doesn't make sense for them to compete on the visuals by spending $300 million versus a couple grand, right? Like, they'll be able to, their AI, they're going to be able to fit AI into their pipeline way easier than we will, because, if I do a shot and it's an exploding airplane or something and it doesn't look totally good, I have to make a financial decision whether I want to spend more money to do the shot. They have an infinite budget, so that shot will look great. But outside of that, like they have to bring their budgets down, and they're going to have to, in my opinion, they're going to have to get back to the fundamentals of writing and storytelling. And I think they're like, they've got at least another 5 years, maybe 10. I don't think we're anywhere near them coming back to the core of storytelling. Doesn't mean there won't be good movies, but I think they're going to be, they have a weight that's being pushed on them to not do the thing. And so they're going to slow down and they're going to have to figure out how to go around it. Whereas the rest of the world is just going to spike it, and you're going to see independent filmmaking take over. There's going to be more Hollywoods. It's just not going to be in California.
All right. Well said.
Yeah.
Anyway, so one last question. This is totally unrelated, but getting back to the earlier question. So you mentioned that a lot of the great, and just right in time, Andrew. This is right up his wheelhouse. So you mentioned. So remember when I asked, are there great comic book artists who aren't great storytellers? You mentioned that most of the really great ones aren't.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the reason why, when a lot of these artists, as I understand, a lot of their deals were that, they work on, I don't know, X-Men or whatever, and part of the deal was that they would they get a chance to do their own book, and a lot of times those books weren't very good. Is that really the reason why? Because they weren't good storytellers. They were great artists, but they couldn't,
Yeah, I mean that's 100%. I mean, look, like someone who's drawn 100 comics, someone who's drawn 100 comics is going to be really good at drawing comics. That same person who's drawn 100 comics but has written 0 stories, their first few stories are probably not going to be, wonderful Gone with the Wind, like legendary books, right? Likewise, someone who's written 20, 30 novels is going to be able to knock out a novel and have it be really competent. But if they try their hand at painting, their first painting is not going to be that good, right?
Right. I don't know.
MK says, Nerd Den 0502 25 when nerds go serious.
Well, I just wanted to have an interesting conversation. So, all right. So aside from Frank Miller and, well, I guess the guy who does Savage Dragon, Eric Larson. What are some other comic artists who can actually tell a story as well? Like they can draw and they can write.
Andrew, he'll Mr. Encyclopedia.
Yeah.
Artists that can draw and write. There's a lot
artists,
of them.
Artists who can draw and also tell a story. Because we were having this discussion earlier about how a lot of great comic artists are actually they're very good at the technical skills of drawing, but they can't actually tell us. They don't have any storytelling skills.
In terms of writing, because good comic artists intrinsically are good storytellers just with image. Like Jim Lee is a brilliant comic artist and a great storyteller, but he's never written a story in his life.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of writers/artists out there. Jeff Smith, Bone.
Jeff Smith is great.
There's a lot of independent guys. What's his name that did Strangers in Paradise? Mike Mignola.
Terry Moore.
He got a lot of help, but early on he got a lot of help, but he eventually did his own writing.
Yep.
John Byrne is probably one of the
John
all-time
Byrne.
Greats. Walter
Pope is good
Simonson, I mean, there's a lot out there that can do both. So,
Well, because I know. Sorry, because I read that when Jack Kirby left Marvel to work with DC and he started his Fourth World, it didn't really do that well. And some people say
well, it was a big concept. I think is one of the reasons why it struggled. It was a big world building concept, So,
all right.
I think a lot of artists, a lot of writers/artists that focus on one hero at a time, like a Hellboy or a Savage Dragon or a Bone or something like that, probably would do better than trying to create a whole world. And I know there's a lot of guys out there that want to create a whole world and they can't pull it off. You start with one character or a small group of character and you build the world. There's only some that can do it, that can do it successfully. And,
All right. Well, I mean, give me something. So, so what about artists who, so I guess, I don't know. I mean, that's not, so who else is there, do you think?
Didn't I give you enough examples? You want more?
Well, I'm trying to keep the conversation going, so yeah.
Okay.
If you don't want to answer, that's fine. I'll just go.
No, I'm just saying. All I'm going to start doing is throwing out ones that I enjoyed.
Yeah, all right.
I have lots that I enjoyed. I mean, I thought Art Adams, his Monkey Man and O'Brien was fantastic.
That was
He didn't live very long because he just couldn't handle doing the writing and the drawing. Even though what he had produced was fantastic, at least in my mind, it was.
Well, that's not somebody who could sustain. How about Art Spiegelman? The guy who did Mouse.
Yes, he created his own thing. He wrote it and drew it. That's great, but that was never something I liked and followed. So I've never read Mouse. I can't comment on it. But I only recently read Contract with God, like within the last few months, and that's like one of the all-time greatest creator, writer, artists out there. It wasn't something that I followed, as a kid. That was not, it wasn't my thing. Can't really talk about it. But
Guys, wait, check it out. Sorry, it's the morning call to prayer.
All right, I'm out. Have a good night, y'all.
Yeah,
Doc, you better stop what you're doing.
whatever, man. It's awesome, dude. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Doc, I lived in New York City in Brooklyn. I lived across the street from a mosque, and I got to hear the call to prayer 4 times a day, every day for 6 years.
Yeah, I know, but were you drunk in Dubai when you heard it?
I don't know. Dusty left.
Wait, when I get back to the hotel, I'm like almost there. I'll pop on, so I'll keep muted till then.
No worries, bro. I all I know is that Dusty left during the call to prayer. I think he's a xenophobe, bro.
All right. Well, anyway, that's all I had for tonight. So,
No, you're good, man. It was a good discussion, man, for sure. I do want to say, like, because we were talking about it earlier, one of the greats passed away last night, I guess. Butch Geist passed away, which is driving me nuts. Butch was here. I'll share this. Let's see.
Yeah,
Hold on.
I saw it like super early this morning with Billy Tucci posted, and I was just like, oh man, damn.
You know what's so crazy? I was thinking back. I could probably not name a single issue or character or story that I could tell you Butch Geist did, but he did a crap load of stuff that I've read.
Everything, dude. Captain America. He did the Winter Soldier.
He touched so much stuff. He touched so much
Yeah,
stuff.
X Factor.
You know?
Wasn't he the artist on X Factor when it
Yeah.
started?
No.
Yeah, and the book that I first really paid attention to him was that prestige format thing he did with
Yeah,
for
he
X
worked on-
Factor.
Guys, hold on.
I remember he worked on Micronauts and
Yep.
just
Guys
lots
got
and
his-
lots of stuff.
Geist got to start in the 80s in fanzines before breaking out with his Marvel work on ROM and Micronauts. From there, he moved to the X-Men line, simultaneously penciling X Factor and New Mutants before hopping over to DC later in the decade, including Teen Titans and The Flash. Geist would jump back and forth from publishers, though, heading back to Marvel to work on Doctor Strange and Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is a phenomenal book.
He also
Other
did
highlights
the,
include penciling DC Marvel All Access, and then a long run on Birds of Prey. In the 90s, he became a staple at CrossGen, like on the Ruse, which I totally remember. And he worked with Jeff Johns crafting Olympus for Humanoids. Since then, he hopped between publishers, including and did stuff for Death of Superman 30th Anniversary Special and issues of Immortal Hulk and Invaders from Marvel. He also did his own book with oh God, what's his name? Avery, help me out.
Brett Weiser.
Brett Weiser.
Yeah, but Mitch didn't mean to do what he did, but
yeah, it's okay. Regardless, the book was phenomenal.
The book was beautiful.
Yeah,
but I wish I bought it actually.
Yep. And I know MK says I guess Drew would fall into the category writer and artist. I don't know.
Of course.
Yeah.
Giving him a little bit of too much credit.
Yeah, there's not a lot of writing involved there.
He says, did Butch Geist do Death of Superman? I think he did.
He was involved with some of the auxiliary titles. The actual issue that he died in was Dan Jurgens.
Yeah.
But Bogandov did art, Man of Steel. I mean, they were all in a lot. He was one of those artists that was involved with a lot of it.
Yeah. What's up, Ramel? How you doing?
The specific death of was Dan Jurgens.
Yeah. Yeah. Dan Jurgens did most of it. But Butch Geist, this guy did everything.
And he's one of those guys that continued to grow and like reinvent himself in his art over and over and over again throughout his career.
How many times have you picked up a comic, flipped through it, goes, "This is pretty. Who did it? Who did it?" And you, oh, okay, it's Butch.
He was the guy. Yeah, he was the guy. Here, let's show some. I'm going to show some images here, just because I think it's easier if you see the art.
I think he also did some of the work on the Dazzler Beast, Beauty and the Beast series.
No, I got that confused too because that X Factor graphic novel, Prisoner of Love, which, like, I memory hold it as being a continuation of that, but it wasn't.
Yeah, but he did that though, right?
He did Prisoner of Love.
Okay.
He did not do the Dazzler
the
Beast
Beast,
miniseries.
okay.
Yeah, he didn't.
Okay.
I got that confused too, dude.
Yeah, I remember there's Crazy Uncle Bill covers, but I don't remember who
Yeah.
did the interior art. So
I don't remember.
I'm trying to find some good images here.
so Todd, are you going to take your girls to a comic book store tomorrow?
Why?
Free comic book day.
Well, maybe. I didn't even think about
First
that.
Saturday in May. Yeah, you probably should if you can.
Well, let me share I got to share a window or something here. There we go. 1 second.
It's also my lady's birthday.
Oh.
She's officially old lady.
No, she's not.
And I find it so sexy.
I don't want to hear about it. This is Butch Guys. He had like this classic realistic style. It's so good, man.
Yeah.
See if I can find more. He had like a long Captain America run. Let's see some pinups. Here's a Captain America.
Don Perlman was the interior artist, at least on issue number 1 of Beauty and the Beast, with a Crazy Uncle Bill cover.
Yeah.
Issue 2 was also a Crazy Uncle Bill cover, and I think it was Don Perlman that did the interior art. But you're right. That Prisoner of Love thing is what always jumps out at me when I think of Butch Guice too.
Yeah, and for some reason I confused it in my head with
Yep.
being a continuation of that Beauty and the Beast story, but it's not. It's a different female character that he's. Dude, his Doctor Strange is badass.
That Doctor Strange is sick, dude. And I was telling Avery in the green room, like I also heard that Glenn Fabry is not doing too well.
Yeah, and Drew Struzan's not doing well.
God.
Oh, that will be a shame.
It's unbelievable, man. Anyway, let's see. One more. Let's see if I can find one more. That's Norm Bravehoggle, who's also a sick motherfucker. Here we go.
Didn't Bravehoggle pass?
Yes, he's no longer with us.
Oh, I didn't know Prisoner of Love was written by Jim Starlin.
Yeah.
And it's showing here that Butch Guice did the interior cover and inking on the issue. He did the whole thing. Wow.
That was the first thing that really grabbed me that I noticed of his work.
Yeah.
What's that?
The X Factor one-shot prestige format thing at Prisoner of Love.
Oh, yeah. Let's see if there's another good. Yeah, he just would do so much, man.
Oh, dude. Todd, do you remember that Deathlock cover with like the Joe Jusko cover? He did the interior of that series.
Oh.
There are some Deadlock issues apparently that Scott Williams did finishes on Jackson, on Butch. That's like, I need to see those.
He did. I've got some of those old '80s comics. Let me turn off my camera. I did some of those old '80s comics that I got from your shop, Andrew.
Yeah.
Like those old. What do you call it? Oh God, what was that line that was like almost like 1980s? Oh God. It was like the Dakota North stuff, that kind of thing. Like. I'm not gonna be able to find it on such a short notice. It's right over here, but it's kind of deep in my collection. But damn, it might not even be in the stack. Oh no, it's not over here. Like, yeah, he was just one of those guys. Like, he always worked. So, and he did it for so long. He just had a huge career. MK says that he's talking about Free Comic Book Day. He says it's the worst advertising for it because Free Comic Book Day used to be all up in his feed.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Regis? Hey, all got to watch some fights, but wanted to pop in and give a shout out. Awesome. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Awesome.
You know what's so funny? He penciled issues 40 through 50 of the New Mutants, and issues 40 through 49 had Barry Windsor Smith covers, and issue 50 had the Rick Leonardi cover. But he did all the work, all the hard work on the inside,
Yeah.
That is so. He was just all over the frickin' place.
He did everything, dude.
Yeah.
He really did. Like, he was always doing stuff.
Yeah, but you mentioned something about, did he do creator-owned stuff?
Yes.
Oh crap! I completely forgot. He was doing art for this new Resurrection Man series that I picked up the first issue to. I even showed you guys some of the interior stuff. I wonder if that means. I wonder if he finished what he was working on with that.
I hope so.
Hey, dudes, I'm actually probably going to go. It's like 5 a.m. I just got some shawarma. I'm about to like cram into my mouth. I'm sure you probably don't want to see that.
Wait. How?
All right.
Wait. We need the Dubai update. So Doc is in Dubai.
Yeah.
How are you? How's the trip?
Yeah, it's good. We had some really good successes so far. We got some like handshake commits, which is great. A lot of good intros. We pitched a couple competitions. It was good. It hasn't been like Dubai is crazy because they spread things out so much, and there's only like one main artery to get. If it's like seaside, right? Basically, so it's either like business or the marina, and then they'll put business stuff up here because all these companies own offices and stuff, right? So like, we'll use your office and have a fancy pants, money talk thing, and then there'll be party down here. So you have to go back and forth, but the traffic's horrible. So it actually like deters you from doing a lot of stuff because you wind up doing like 1 hour traffic each way. But aside from that, it's like it's almost like terrible. But aside from that, it's been awesome. We went to the desert. Well, I mean, like party stuff. We went to the desert rave last night. It was crazy. And then tonight was a closing party, and there's some really. I'm just still on a vibe. Like, there's some really incredible DJs that took me somewhere where I haven't been for a long time. Like,
nice.
musically, emotionally, like I was crying. I was dancing my ass off though, and then a lot of epiphanies. I mean, it's like, going out to these things is amazing because there's a lot of people that speak the same language as you, but that doesn't mean that they speak it in the same manner, right? I mean, it's like, this is the epitome of wealth flex and that side of the industry that comes out here, so they like, dude, listen, there's this dude, and this is not like a singular event. This is like in at least everything. It's hot as fuck here, right? It's like, 101, 102, 103 degrees, right? Even at night, it's like 90. And there's these dudes that would come out to like the beach DJ event is hot as hell in a fucking full-on wool tweed suit, just like with this nice loafers and all this stuff. And it's like, do you really got to try that hard, man? Like, do you really? I mean, what's wrong with you, right? So there's just like that element of that where it's like it's the most disgusting parts of the industry combined, but that's where like you make the deals out here, right?
Right.
So it's a lot of filtering out that bullshit. So I made a bunch of Twitter posts tonight, and I think I don't even know if it posted. I got out of the club and I was just like super introspective and posted this soliloquy about just doing good and being a good human being in this industry, and it's not that hard to to say no. Like, hey, that's going to hurt people. No, I'm not going to do it. Right? You know what I mean? It's like, it shouldn't be that hard. So, yeah, but I mean, overall, it's been great. We're going to be here until I'll be here until the 10th, because next week there's a mobile games expo and a lot of investment. So it's more on the traditional side. So we hope to be able to like kind of blend our cap table, whatever. We don't want all Web3 investment because they're not here for the long term, right? So hopefully we'll get some stuff done there. But yeah, man, I mean, it's an experience for sure. It's pretty surreal.
It's pretty awesome. Other side of the world, man.
It's pretty surreal, and you just gotta look at it and be like, I'm so thankful to be able to experience that. But then I also know that this, like, when I'm in this like temporary zone, right? Like, it's not real.
Yeah.
I go back to real when I get back home. I mean, if it's real when you're here, because everyone else is validating that, right? But it's not. So it's just one of those things where you just want to just fucking be a good human being. That's all I really care about. doing stuff with other good human beings that doesn't hurt other people. So
you're in a fantasy world for about a week. So
yeah, exactly right. So like, how much of that actually comes home with you? So,
yeah.
But it's all eye opening, and it's just layers on layers. And I think the biggest thing is just continuing to stay loud about what's important, as far as like how you represent yourself as a person, as a brand, the things that you're building, and then teaming up with people who will also share that and amplify it. And then at some point, we'll get louder than the people who are doing all the damage in the industry that we're trying to be successful in. So, yeah, it's just fuel for the fire.
Yep, that's awesome,
That's
man.
That's
awesome,
it's cool.
Yeah,
It's cool.
I can't believe it's 5 a.m. and you're still awake. But
this is the second night in a row I did that shit, man.
wait, what time?
I couldn't stop.
What time do you have to wake up?
I don't tomorrow, thankfully. Today I had to wake up and go to a pitch at 1:00, and I went to the wrong venue. Ugh, it was crazy. But yeah, tomorrow's like, tonight was the last. Everybody flies home tomorrow, except for some people that stay, of course. But there's no more events or anything like that. So tomorrow's just rest day, chill day, work day. This was the last big shebang. But damn, the music was good, bro. I wish you were there, dude, because it was fucking incredible.
Well, I get on that. I get on that dance floor, bro.
I know, dude. I know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you would have absolutely loved it. We would have been on an emotional journey and crying and hugging, and like, it would have been probably something people wouldn't want to see.
Yeah.
We just do it anyway.
I'd love it, dude.
Yeah.
I love Dancing in Dubai. Should be your theme song. Hey, what's up, Carrots? Carrot says, "Hey, everyone, just checking in. Hope you're doing well. What's up, man?
Yeah.
Welcome. We're chilling out. Have a good Friday."
So anyway, I'm gonna smash this shawarma.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm gonna go to bed.
Please get to bed before 6 a.m., dude. Please.
We'll see.
Yeah, God.
I don't know. I'm super just like vibed up tonight. So, all right, guys. But I'll check in with you next week. And
for popping in from Dubai. That's fucking amazing.
Of course, man. I mean, I mean, this is my jam. You're my guys.
Love it.
So got to. All right. I'll see you guys later.
Love you, brother. See you soon.
Love you too, man.
See, he's calling from Dubai.
And I couldn't be on time.
And it couldn't be on time.
It's all right. I had another stream to join, so.
I know, you're okay.
So, Butch Geist did X Factors issues 1, 2, and 3, 5, 6, and 7. Wow. 5, 6, and 7. First appearance, cameo appearance, and first appearance of Apocalypse.
Oh shit!
So heavy key issues there.
Wow.
So
God, man.
Wow, the guy had an impact. He had an impact on the comic world, the comic universe, and artists alike, and he will sorely be missed.
It amazes me too. Like it amazes me some of the things like I learned too. Like I was telling Avery in the green room, I was watching. There's this new 2-part interview with Simon Bisley and it's in his place.
Hmm.
And like, dude, his I don't know if it's an apartment or a room, like his whole entire world is the size of like your office. Like everything. He like works and lives in one room. It's crazy. I was like, what? Like, dude sells like paintings for tens of thousands of dollars. Like, homeboy can't get a apartment, like a house. Like, I mean, he just kind of works and lives in one room. It seems. You know, it's crazy. It's nuts. I'm like, damn. Like, he literally has. I'll show you a picture later, but he has like, he's got his drawing table, and right in front of it is a motorcycle that he's working on, and right next to the motorcycle is his bed. And then like there's a TV, and like he has archives just stacked to the ceiling of artwork, and that's his entire place. And I'm like, what? Where? What is happening? Like, how is that? How? What? It's. I mean, it's a cool looking spot, but it looks like my college dorm. You know. I mean, obviously, kitchen must be somewhere else, and a bathroom must be somewhere else. But like, I was like, okay. You know, like he's working on a motorcycle in his fucking bedroom, bro. It's like, all right, that's crazy. You know, but you know, he's punk, so what are you gonna do? So, Andrew, man, how was Thunderbolts?
I enjoyed it. We all enjoyed it, to be honest with you.
Hold on,
But then
Kara says after. I'm sorry, I cut you off. Kara said after having a house for long enough, you start to long for a tiny room to take care of. Yeah, I could absolutely see that. I totally could see that. I have a yeah. I small spaces are actually kind of good. Who dropped? Did Avery drop?
Romel. Oh no, Romel's there. I guess Avery dropped.
Oh, he's coming back. He was having issues with his phone.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it might be that. I mean, at the end of the day,
I was trying to ask you something, and it wouldn't go through. Like
oh,
I couldn't unmute.
what's
It
up?
would. I was guessing like, where's this interview? This Bisley interview?
Here, I'll share it. I mean, it's awesome. He goes through like he's working. He goes at and looks at Slain. I haven't. It's like a 3-hour interview in his bedroom. So like I haven't seen the whole thing, but here I'll share you a little bit, and then we'll talk about the movie. Here, hold on. Let me share this. I was just shocked. I don't know why. You know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with this place. I was just like, it's just because this dude, like, you know, he's a legend, and you're like, where's, like, here we go. Let's see. Can you see that? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Uh huh.
Yeah. So like. Here, so check this out.
Oh yeah, this is just a room in his house.
No, it's not.
Oh, I can't remember. I should know, but
Can you? Okay.
yeah,
So these are his archives right here, right? That's just like stacks of artwork. So there's his archives. And he talks about it. He's like, yeah, this is it. But here's his archives. And then like turn around. If you turn around, his bed is over there, and then he's working on a motorcycle, and then his drawing table, and that's what he's got. It's
That's crazy.
shit. Like there's his bed. Do you see the cot? And there's his motorcycle that he's working on. Right next to his bed. Right? And then he talks about the motorcycle for a minute because it's like a long ass interview. And then right behind his bed, right there, is the drafting table, right? Like right there. That's it.
That's wild.
Look at his. I mean, it's like it's almost like a hoarder's room, but it's like it's not. It's just a small room, right? And he's just like has a TV in the corner, and that's it, man. You know. Like obviously there's got to be more rooms because he's got to have like a bathroom and a kitchen and probably like, you know, I don't know, a ward, you know, he showed a stack of hats. So maybe his clothes are in there, but like, He must be sharing a bedroom or a bathroom or something. But
Wild.
isn't that crazy? And then like, yeah, and then the rest of the video is just him like sitting at his desk, like going through shit and just like talking about his process. And then like the second half of the video, let's see, the second half of the video is like just him going through like and talking about all his shit. Like here, let me all right, let me pause. How'd that happen? That's cool. Let me pause this up here.
This is on YouTube.
Yeah, I'll share the link with you guys. Carrot says, Carrot says, huh, okay, maybe a little more cramped than I might choose. Yeah. What's the art with King Kong on the back wall? I don't know, dude. He's done so much. Like Bisley's a legend. So like
Yeah.
he's done
I
so much.
I passed on that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle thing he did of Raphael and Casey Jones. And I regret it because you can't find it now. There's
Yeah.
no reprint. And the issues are expensive as shit.
But dude, he's talking every panel. He's talking about all the stuff in Slain, bro.
Amazing.
Like he's just going through it. Like and it's like, I mean, he just goes through like his pages. Like, I don't know why. Maybe it had to do with like the re-release of Slain, right? Maybe they decided to
Yeah.
do like because you know they did the re-release. So he's going through like a full interview with everything.
Yeah, I want the hardbacks, but I can't find them.
Yeah, they're impossible. But he goes through every page, dude. That's such a good book.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. It's genius. It's absolutely genius. And I love it
And that
too.
was-
Like if you look at his fingers, they're like permanently paint stained. Like
Yeah.
like they're full on black and ink and paint. I'm glad he's not stopping, man. This guy's a king. Look at that shit, dude. And to him, it's probably terrible, but you know, I mean, he did that in his 20s, his teens. Wasn't he like 19 or 20?
I think early 20s.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or can you guys smell the alcohol from this video?
You think he's an alcoholic?
No, but he just you can just see it. There's a bottle of whiskey right next to him somewhere. You know,
Maybe, I'm sure.
you gotta be crazy, and you gotta drink a lot to do amazing things like that. I think.
Yeah, you gotta be, yeah. I'm sure he's led like a pretty party filled life, you know. I mean, I just love it. I love it because it's like he blows up the myth of the artist a little bit because he's just like that
Well, his
desk is
work-
just shredded. He's probably the same desk he's had his whole life.
His workspace, the size of it reminds me of like one of those Japanese or Chinese where they work on manga and they have this little itty bitty workspace. Everything
Yeah.
is everything is, you don't get up because everything's right there in front of you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's like nothing there. Like it's like Kirby's desk, you know. It's like just greased up. It's just
You
completely
know,
wrecked.
we should one day do like a tour of our work areas,
That'd be fun.
because what you see of mine, you see me, but you don't see all the crap piled around me and
Yeah.
all over the place. I mean, I'd love to see Avery's workspace. I think Todd's would be immaculate because I've actually seen it.
It's
There's
pretty
not a lot of
clean.
work getting done there. Yeah.
Oh please, God. I just am amazed. Like it's like, you know. I mean, he's got like spray paint on his walls because he's like overspraying his pages or something. Like, you know, it's a true studio, but it's also, I mean, he lives there. Like, I know, like, I knew it's weird because he was like talking about his motorcycle, and he was like fixing it up. He was like, "Yeah, I'm working on this. I'm fixing it up," but you can see where he's been like sanding it and like doing like filling in the gaps and like doing the coats, the polymers. Like, dude, you need a clean room for that stuff. You don't breathe that stuff in. But he's got it next to his bed. Like, oh my god, dude. Like,
He might just have a bed in his studio in case he has like to do an all-nighter. I don't know if this is where he sleeps all the time.
apparently that's what I
Yeah.
mean. I'm telling you, I watched a little bit of it, and that's what he says. He said, "This is it. That's my bed.
All right.
This is where I live."
The first interview is like an hour and 27 minutes long, and the other one's an hour and 37. So I'm looking forward to watching them.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm not super deep into him, but I was into him enough to where I was like, oh my god, I got to show the guys this. Like, it's super rare to have an interview with Bisley in the first place, let alone see his place, let alone like have him go through basically every single page of slaying the Horn God.
Ooh, Avery, they got a Liam Sharp interview in here as well. This
Oh,
one's
cool.
2.5 hours long.
Oh, nice.
I'm looking to see who else they got. Simon Harrison. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, and this is from like, I mean, it's brand new. It's from like 5 days ago, so it's brand new.
Yeah, some of these are old, like 3-4 years old. But oh, Henry Flint, really? No way. I love his stuff. Cool.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
glad you pointed out this channel. This is 2000 AD on YouTube.
Yeah.
Damn, there's a shitload of stuff here. All right, I can't wait. I'm gonna dig through this. This looks great.
Yeah, man. Put it on while you're drawing. You know.
Brian Talbot, Sean Phillips. That one's from 4 years ago, but
Still.
yeah, some good artists in here.
So
Cool, I'm going to subscribe real quick so I can
good.
get notifications.
So now because I did cut you off, Andrew, and I apologize, but like, so how was Thunderbolts?
Well, I enjoyed it thoroughly. There was a lot of talking in it, but I love the riffing between the characters. I think Sandra Pugh is gorgeous. I think she looks great, even though a lot of people say she doesn't have a neck. I still think she looks hot. And it just, I love David Arbor in this show, and I love his whole character. He's fantastic.
Mhm.
The U.S. agent, he's kind of an ass, but I like him. All the character, the only character I did not like is the one that everybody complains about, and that's Julia Louise Dreyfus's character. She's rather annoying as hell, but whatever. But one of the things I thought was really interesting is the guy that plays the Sentry. Freaking perfect. If you know anything about the character, the look, the acting, everything about him, when he's the Void, and you're looking at him and his eyes, you just see a glint in his eyes, and the rest of it is black. It's like that's perfect. But originally, you know who was cast to play the character?
No, I had no idea.
Stephen Yu. Glenn from The Walking Dead. He's
Really?
the voice of Invincible. Yeah, they originally casted him to be the Sentry, which he's this golden god of a character. Stephen Yu is not that character. I'm glad they went with somebody else. But that was probably during a woke phase, and they abandoned it. Thank goodness, because this guy's perfect. There's one scene where he's having a conversation with Julia Louise Dreyfus, and she's talking about how she's going to use him and so forth and all this, and he's looking at her, and things are starting to click in his mind. He's like, "Wait a minute, why am I taking orders from you? You're human. I'm like a god. How is this And it's like, and she's realizing, oh shit, and he's realizing, what am I doing listening to you? And overall, I enjoyed the hell out of it. I enjoyed it. The one character that is not in the trailers as much, it's because that person gets taken out pretty quickly.
Mhm.
It didn't bother me at all because I wasn't a fan of that character in the movie that they were in. But the rest were one of the, I heard I listened to Zach's video on it where he says it's the worst movie he's ever seen. One of his complaints was it had a lot of the Marvel doofus dialogue, like they're walking through the desert and somebody says, "Hey, maybe we should call an Uber." I know that's stupid, but I find it funny. I think it's funny, so that didn't bother me at all. The Marvel doofus dialogue.
Yeah.
And yeah, and there was 2 extra scenes, and the last extra scene connected to Fantastic Four, and it absolutely confirms our theory of the Fantastic Four being in an alternate reality.
Okay. Awesome.
Because there's something happening in space, and they go, "What's happening?" It says there's a interdimensional rift, and there's a spaceship coming through it, and they show it, and it's the Fantastic Four spaceship.
Oh, cool.
And and just saying it's an interdimensional rift,
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of what we think is going to happen in Fantastic Four is probably going to happen.
Yeah. It has
I'm
to.
still looking forward to it.
That
I'm still
Earth.
looking forward to
This is also why I'm going to love the Fantastic Four movie. That's why I'm also not really upset about the female Silver Surfer or whatever.
Yeah, same here.
Like, because it's a different universe. Like, that's the whole point. Like, it's an alternate reality,
Yep.
and that Earth dies to set up the next big thing, which is like, oh my gosh, it's Unicron. The very Transformers 1986, one of the greatest movies of all time. The first 5 minutes of the movie, Unicron goes to a planet and destroys a planet, kills everybody, eats the fucking planet, and that sets the stage. Like, he finishes that, and then you see him going, and the next planet is Earth. It sets the stage for, you're like, oh my God, he's going to eat this planet. He's going to destroy Earth, right? It's the same thing. Galactus is the same thing. Avery dropped, and it sucks because I don't know why, but in my feed now, because I saw that Simon Bisley thing, I found a rare. It's Simon Bisley painting the Horn God from.
You shared that with us before. We've seen.
No, I've never seen this.
I'm pretty sure we have.
I've never seen him actually.
There was a Simon Bisley video where he was working on a Horn God piece. Maybe it's not the same one you're looking at now.
No,
but I know you've shared something with us.
I'll show you. This is like from while he was doing the Horn God. He's like 20 something.
Okay.
But
I swear you showed us a video of him doing something.
I probably did, but it was probably more recent.
Oh, let me show you something real quick, by the way.
Okay.
Look what I got.
Woo! Wait.
You've seen this art before.
I have.
But what I'm showing off is that I've got a 17 by 14 top loader.
That's wicked.
And I ended up going to BCW, where I get my where I get my comic supplies, bags and boards. Mm-hmm. And they had a clearance sale on this size. So normally they'd be like $4 a piece. You pay like $40 for a 10-pack. Mm-hmm. I got 3 10-packs for like less than $70.
Hold on. I'm gonna take a picture. Hold on. 1 second. Because it looks great.
Angle it so that you don't see the shine.
Perfect.
And so I went through and started taking out some of my old 14 by 17 pieces that are just sitting out.
Carrot, hold on. Carrot says, I hadn't seen that. That's amazing. Yeah, we're gonna be posting that in the Discord really soon.
Look at all these original pieces.
Oh, look at that.
And what I did is like some of the double page spreads that I had that weren't in frames, like, so this is the front.
Oh, it's so nice, dude. Thank God you put them in a top loader.
Yep. And then including some stuff that unpublished, never before seen stuff,
So good, man.
But then also original hero pages, like full background pages that I did.
That's so good.
Yeah, so they're now well protected. And I still have like 9 left, so.
Now, how many did you buy?
30 of them.
30, okay. So you didn't get enough to go through all your pages, of course.
Well, no, I don't have everything on the like. Here's a page from Hero Book 2.
Yeah, so cool.
Nice big cool page. Yeah, I did very few images on full size paper for Heroes Book 1, 2, and 3. This is one that.
You have a request.
Front-ended.
Carrots wants to. He is asking, can we see more of those? Can you show? Just go through each of them, maybe.
I could.
It would be nice.
Most of this stuff is already on in my yeah. Oh. So this is a Crom and Princess illustration before Crom became a tiger and he was a jaguar and had spots. I got rid of the damn spots.
This is for Andrew's book Hero.
Yes.
by the way.
And then this is another Crom and Princess drawing before he became a tiger.
Oh, looks so good.
This is just a background image for Hero Book 2. We have the bad guys. The bad guys meeting and plotting in a ruined castle.
I don't remember that page in the book.
Yeah, it's in there. This is the original Mike Mignola inspired splash page where it's right before where Granny Aura is predicting that he'll be the greatest hero ever. And what's so funny is all these images inside this were story ideas, and some of them will never happen because we're going in different directions. So this was the back cover to Volume 2.
Yeah, that's wicked, man.
Hero and the Turtles. This is a page from Hero Book 1 where they first meet up with the snake.
Now, did you for the top loading? Did you just kind of pick your favorite pages, or what was
these are all the ones that weren't matted and elsewhere,
okay,
or framed up someplace.
Mm.
This is, good God, is this from book 3 or book? Yeah, this is from book 3. It's like one of the first pages in one of the chapters from book 3. This is the last page of Hero Book 1, where the snake is revealed to be a two-headed Hydra. This is a page from Book 3, where the crane shows up and takes the snake and chucks him. This was a chapter pin-up for Hero Book 2, where Hero teams back up again with his older brother Brock and meets his wife and Granny Aura and the kids. Not Brock's kids, but the kids. This is what I call my Avengers page, where it's Hero and his brother and them all getting ready to go off to do battle, and they've all got weapons or stuff, and Brock's got his hammer, and this is the last page of Hero Book 2, which leads into that other scene where that's just a cool one. This is an image of Hero's sister, Hunter.
I love those.
She's getting ready to dispatch a couple of nasty spiders.
Yeah, those spiders are awesome.
And then this was a chapter cover with Hero and the spiders. And this was just a pinup page. This was just a story page from Hero Book 2. And anybody who sees this, I think it was my wife said, "Were you watching Brother Bear that day?" And said, "Yes, I was. I was watching Brother Bear." So that's where the inspiration for that came from. This is a page from Brock's story where he took on this really huge alligator. This is a battle scene with Brock, Hero, Granny Aura, and the guys fighting against a group of I forgot what I called them. They're not meerkats, but they're just nasty little cat creatures. This is a page from Hero Book 3. This is a flashback where we're introduced to this guy right here is Hero's dad's brother. His name's Lance, and then this guy right here is Hero's dad's other brother, Rick. And in the story, in the first book, we're introduced to a bad guy by the name of the Rat King, and the Rat King is in that page, even though you don't know who it is yet. It hasn't been revealed yet. And this is a double page splash with a bunch of the heroes, because Hero's mom and dad were warriors in an army, and that's how they met. And this is the army getting ready to go on their final offensive. And the other side of the splash page had one of the generals riding atop a huge ass lizard.
That's badass.
And then this is just a background image that I drew, just a bunch of crazy stuff. And in the published page, the what will be published, you see Hero like jumping here. He's just running away from the snake.
So Andrew, really quick, Carrot says, he says, I'm out of the loop these days. Can you drop a link to your book?
Just go to here. To find out information about it, which there's nothing new updated there, go to misfitcorner.com or misfitcornercomicsllc.com.
Okay.
Laugh out loud. No book. He's finally doing it. Well, it's coming. It's coming. I'm working on it.
So just to clarify, Andrew released volume 1 and volume 2. I have them on my shelf. He released small runs years ago, and what he's doing right now is he's going back through those, kind of updating them, making them a little better, and then we're gonna help Andrew launch these books by hell or high water if he allows us to help him. We're gonna help him launch these books so that he gets these books out there, and I believe he's working on volume 3 now as well.
We're working on. I'm doing a brand new backup story for volume 1, which is what I'm working on right now. I'm on page 3. I've penciled all 8 pages, but I'm inking page 3, which I have sitting right here. I worked on it on my Wednesday show. This is page 3 that's being worked on right now.
That looks so good.
And this was page 2, which I finished last week.
Yeah.
And yeah. So when that's done, we're gonna letter it, and then we're gonna publish book 1 again. And then I go back to work on book 2, which there's a backup story that needs to be updated, and then there's a new backup story that I just came up with that I need to work on. We lost Avery again.
Avery and Ramel dropped.
What time is it?
9:30. That's okay. That guy, he works his ass off. So. Yeah. But it's looking great, man. Andrew, it looks really, really good.
Yep. It's coming along.
Yeah. Carrots. We're gonna if we have anything to say for it, Andrew might fight it, but I'm gonna promote the hell out of it as best I can because it deserves. Like I said, I've got the original volumes over here on the shelf. They're so good, man. So I will say this about Andrew: he will finish it. He will do it. He, especially when he says he'll do it, he actually does get it done. So he'll get it done, and when
may take a little bit of time.
When he's good and ready, we'll push it out, and we're going to promote it for him because it deserves to get out there because it's awesome. It looks really, really good. It's good stuff. You know.
I'm getting more comfortable drawing again.
Good.
My style is very, very sloppy right now, but for the pages I'm working on, that actually works. It's an advantage because it's kind of sloppy-ish.
Do you think it's just a evolution of your style, or is it just getting the swing back?
It's my ability to actually see the pen and the paper.
Yeah.
I'm having issues with it, but I'm working around those. I have physical limitations, but I'm working around them.
Yeah,
is what I'm doing. So, yeah.
It probably just make your artwork better anyway.
As long as I keep working at it.
All of a sudden, you'll start looking like Crazy Uncle Bill.
Hey, you never know.
Dude, I love that stuff. I mean, they look great. Like I said, I am the proud owner of, like, I think probably the largest collector of your books.
You know what? You know what's really a shame, Todd, is for the longest time you guys have been saying, Drew, when are you gonna start drawing again? When are you gonna get these things done? Guess what? We're gonna start saying the same thing about Todd.
No, fuck you.
When are you going to get your art done? When are you going to get your stories done? When are you going to get that stuff you're working on done?
Andrew, you're killing me.
Yeah, it's going to come.
I'm working on producing a show right now.
I told Michael the same exact thing. I said, you do realize you're getting to an age where if you don't find a girl, your mother,
Andrew,
your
don't do that.
grandmothers are going to try to hook you up with people. They're going to try to set you up on dates. Todd, you're getting to an age where we're going to start demanding you do some art and get stuff
I've
done.
been working my ass off, bro.
I know, and
all
I
day, every
can't
day.
wait to see the art. I can't
You,
wait to
dude,
see the page.
yesterday, wait a minute. Yesterday,
Yes.
on a call for our lore games,
Was
I
there
showed
at
you
the
the
time?
episode. Huh?
Was I there at the time?
Were you not there? Did you not? Were you? I don't know.
I
You're
missed the
always
first
there.
half of it because I was at a movie with my kid.
Oh, that's right. I showed the whole thing that I've been working on for like.
I want to see art.
I know.
wanna see
I know.
drawings.
I know. That's great.
It will be a shame when your daughter is doing art and surpassing you.
Oh, she's already surpassing me.
It's coming.
She's 8. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that.
They're both-
I've seen that.
And,
I've
and,
seen
and
what
my
she can
youngest
do.
too. They're both really good. They're both really talented.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy.
the
And
way,
I know I'm a dad, so you're like, oh, yeah, it's just a dad.
Wait
But
a
no,
minute,
like,
wait a minute. Didn't somebody have a birthday recently?
yeah, my
Frickin'
oldest.
A.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure you
Oh,
tell
wait.
her I said happy birthday.
And everybody, Carrots and MK and everybody here, Dusty Sky has a birthday on Sunday.
Oh, he does.
Yeah. Just saying. Yeah. His birthday is in 2 days. Just saying.
Oh, I want to show you something. One of my buddies got one of his grails.
Okay. Oh, no way. Holy crap, dude.
He ended up trading and paying a little bit of cash, but he traded for it and got it. This is one
He
of his
traded for
all-time. Yes, it's a whole bunch of slab books.
Holy crap.
It was a huge get for him because it's literally his one and only highest grail.
Yeah, that's my grail too. Shit.
Really?
Well, that's like even that and
Wow.
that Amazing Fantasy 15 and Amazing Spider-Man #1.
Okay.
Those are my 2
I
grails.
would never have thought that for you.
Yeah. What would you have thought my grails were?
I don't know. I have no clue.
Yeah. There's only a few grails that I would want to actually spend. Like if I had the money, I would do. But
Oh, you want to see something I got in a collection recently that makes me want to try to collect, try to go back and find more of these?
oh yeah.
First print
Yep.
of issue number 6.
Yep.
It's like a $20 book.
Mhm.
Everything higher than the number 6 is getting to be outrageous because the first prints are very, very hard to find.
Really? I used to have that
I'm-
whole run, dude.
I'm out. I'm gonna find them.
Really? I used to have that whole run. I don't have them anymore, but I used to have
Yeah.
a whole bunch of them. I
Yeah,
was an
it's cool
early
stuff.
collector on those guys.
Yep.
Sucks.
That's good stuff.
Wait, now just going back to that Amazing Fantasy 15 for a second. What is
Sure.
that 2.0? What's the market value on that slab 2.0?
Comicpriceguide.com lists a 2.0 ungraded at about $8,000 and a graded copy at around $27,000.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So, yeah.
That's so good.
That one's never one I cared about.
Really?
Would I own it? Sure. Would I like to have it? Sure. But it's not on any of my list. I honestly don't know what my Grail comic would be right now. Honestly, I think
It's
if
first
you
appearance
asked me
of
a
Batgirl.
few years ago, that's probably up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you asked me a year ago, it would have been G.I. Joe #2.
Right.
As a kid, I could never get
Well,
my hands on that. And
there-
I've got a copy. I've got a
There
6.5
are-
copy.
well,
So it's not impossible anymore.
A lot of the most, if I was to collect slabbed books, it would be the ones that I have now, just like in better condition. Like I would want Jay Lee's run. I would want early Jim Lee X-Men, those kind of things. Like the same books I already have. I'd probably get Body Bags as 9.8 slab just because, why not? You know what I mean? Those are the books that I love.
I think when it comes to a Grail, something that is like your all-time number one, that's what you want. Number one, it doesn't matter what condition it's in, you don't care. It's just that's the one that's more important to you. Honestly, I think G.I. Joe number 2 was probably high on that list for me, but I got it. I've got a copy. It's not impossible to find. But definitely first Batgirl, Detective, whatever number that is. That I did I tell you that when we were in Missouri last time, I went to a comic book store that actually had a copy. It was a low grade, but they wanted like $600 for it.
Oh,
and I'm like, my wife would kill me if I spent $600 on a single comic.
Yeah.
But it was like, ooh, and I checked the guide. The guide price was like $650, so they were within the guide range.
Yeah.
So I almost considered saying, hey, I give you $500 for it, see what they'd go for it, but I could not do it. Not while I'm on vacation with the wife,
I know.
I
would say that my Grail, definitely Amazing Fantasy 15, and I think right up there also would be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 1.
Yep, I can see that. First
Yeah.
print.
First
or
print.
actually, I'd first print any condition is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
First print any condition.
Yep. The things that get me are the things that started legacies, right? Like the things that kind of launched giant, like really big things. And Spider-Man, of course, is like my all-time favorite Marvel character, probably. And Ninja Turtles is like our generation's, I don't even know. It's just like, I don't even know what to call it anymore. Like it was just, it was like punk rock for comics.
It was literally our generation Spider-Man.
Yeah,
If you
basically.
think about it, yeah.
That's
Spider-Man or
probably
Superman. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah, and I can't think of any other. Like I said, there's tons of slab books I would want to collect, right? But if I had like the budget and the time, like Action Comics number 1 doesn't really do it for me. Like I don't care. Maybe Fantastic Four number 1, even though I love, like my favorite run of all time has become Fantastic Four, but not those early Kirby's actually. Like it's later on. But yeah, Amazing Fantasy 15. I think that would probably be it. Like, Batman, Detective, some of the early Detective comics, not number 1, but some of the early covers.
Ooh, you know what detectives I would really like? I know Avery really likes the Kurt Swans.
Yeah.
But I liked Alan Davis did a couple of issues of Detective. Not the ones where he started it and then McFarlane finished it year 2 or whatever it was.
Yeah, that was
there were some
book.
before that which were like gorgeous. And I've seen them slab before, and they usually go, $50, $75, $100.
Yeah.
But I would love to have those. But I was never a big Batman fan. I was never a big Spider-Man fan.
Right.
But G.I. Joe, Transformers, those are big ones for me.
Yeah. That was classic stuff, man.
Yep.
So I think the key is that I just got to get I got to buy a shit ton of graded comics from you, and then figure out how to find someone with a Amazing Fantasy 15 and just flip it, trade for it.
He traded a crap load of key issues. So, I mean, he had a decent collection. There was a guy that somebody had a more beat up copy, graded copy of it, and that was looking to make a deal. And he sent him a list of every slab he had, said, let me know what you're willing to take. And the guy said somebody offered him cash. So he went with that instead. Yeah. Apparently the guy's family was like, don't get more comics, get money, get cash. And somebody offered him what he wanted, so he took it. So
MK,
another guy. So
MK says Batman and Teen Titans were my jam. Yeah.
Ooh, you know what I'd love to get? A really nice slabbed copy of X-Men Teen Titans. The Walter Simonson issue. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
He says, MK says, all I have are detective here. Well, a ton. Dude, which is I think my favorite detective run, and maybe it's a generational thing. I'm starting actually to appreciate the Neil Adams. I mean, Neil Adams is a genius, but I'm starting to appreciate his run a little more. But the Norm Brayfogle run for me is like definitive Batman. Like I can't beat Norm Brayfogle's Batman to me, you know?
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed the Kelly Jones as
Oh,
well.
Kelly Jones's run was
Kelly Jones
awesome.
had a huge stamp on Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, he did some amazing things. So,
MK says, Drew, what issue numbers are the ones you're looking for? He'll look.
give me a second. I give you.
He's checking his database.
Trying to remember what issue numbers they were. They weren't that old. They were 80s issues. Why am I thinking like in the 530s? Nope, it was later than that.
Riveting.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Like, I never got into Apparo's work was pretty good for detective.
Definitely appreciated it later. When I was a
Yeah.
kid, I didn't like his art on it.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Kind of like I feel like Aparo, the way I feel like about Jim Aparo is the way I feel about Kurt Swan with Superman. Like I never really gave two craps about Kurt Swan, and then as an adult, when I started going to conventions and looking at original, I was looking at a lot of original art, and I was like, who is that? Like I was looking at these pages like, wow, they're so clean and like just wicked, and it was Kurt Swan's Superman stuff. And then I realized I didn't know it. I had no clue, but he had done Superman for like 30 years.
Yeah, Alan Davis did 569, which was 1986. Here, I'll share with you so you can see what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Where's my zoom?
Those were such good issues, man. Like that was the best era. That looks so good.
Yep. But he did that. He did this one.
Wow, look at that cover.
But anything with the Joker on it, even Catwoman was good.
That's early Alan Davis too, huh?
Oh yeah. But see, you'll see the trend, and then this was like a special issue. I don't think he did the art in it, but then you get into this. Oh nope, one more. This is another Alan Davis issue, and then another Alan Davis issue.
Now was he?
But then
he was
right
never like
this, this is when this started.
That's the
he did the first one, and then McFarlane did the next three.
Yeah.
And
that's such a class. There's such
people
classic
go crazy
covers
for these. Yeah.
Yeah, I love those issues.
Yeah, but Alan Davis did the first.
Look at that. That's such a Spawn cover, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. There you go.
Yeah. Oh God, when I saw those, I freaked out when I saw those.
So very simple. So very. There wasn't much to him,
No.
But
now was Alan Davis kind of like a Neil Adams cop clone at the beginning?
He's a Brit, and was working for like whatchamacallit, 2000 AD. He was doing a lot of stuff for them. Like he was like one of the original Miracle Man artists. him and Leach. So
God, man,
Gary
This-
Leach.
those Brits are fucking crazy good.
Yeah.
So, what do you got going on? What do you got going on in the comic shop? What's going on next week? Anything? Any news? Any good stuff coming in?
Well, tomorrow is the first weekend of the month, which means we're doing 10-cent comics. So
Oh,
all the
shit.
quarter comics are 10 for $1.
Jesus.
And I'm doing a sale on slab books. We're marking a lot down to, there's 3 bins of $20, $25, and $30 slabs. And some of them were originally $45 a piece, and they're now $20.
Wow.
So if somebody wants to come in and take advantage of my sale, they can get some really good slabs.
I wish
sold a
you would
bunch
do these
last
sales
week.
online so I could get some.
Yeah, but shipping and all that, I can't sell a slab for
Right.
20
No,
bucks.
no,
and
I can
ship
buy
it
it
to
on. I
somebody,
could
you
buy
know?
it online, and then you could just hold it for me.
Well, I'll
It's the
sell it to
same.
somebody else and
I know.
have cash in hand.
I know. Well, I'm glad we got you. I know you. I'm glad you had to hop on someone else's stream for a second. I understand. You're a good man. You know.
They support my other channels, so I have to support them.
Absolutely.
Good thing.
Absolutely. And yeah, man. Happy Friday, buddy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And happy Friday, Zach. And yeah, I guess have a good weekend. You know, and yeah, I'm working on this episode. God, I hope I can have it done by next week. I've been working on this first one too long, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
Well, when it comes to Thunderbolts, if you enjoyed the Black Widow movie, this is literally Black Widow 2.
Okay, that's a
Yep.
good. That's actually a really good summary.
Yep. And if you
I didn't have
liked
a
it,
problem with the
you'll
first
probably
Black Widow.
enjoy it. So
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with it. So
Yep.
awesome. Right on.
cool.
Awesome. Well, love you
Oh,
guys.
You know
Yeah.
something I wanted to tell you? I'm sorry, had to backtrack.
No, that's all right.
Did you see the Black Widow movie?
Yeah. Part of it.
In the Black Widow movie, and I didn't realize it until I was watching it. I rewatched it with my wife.
Yeah.
There's a scene close to the beginning of the movie where the Red Guardian is in prison and he's sitting down and he's arm wrestling people, right? One of the huge guys that comes up and arm wrestles him he actually says his name. And then he gets up and says, the guy's a big bear. His name was Ursa.
Oh,
When Red Guardian was first introduced, he was part of a super soldiers team, super Soviets team.
yeah.
And one of the characters was a giant bear named
Bear
Ursa.
named Ursa. Yeah.
Yeah. So-
Yeah.
I did not realize it when I first watched Black Widow. I saw it on an airplane without the volume, so I was just watching the movie. So I never caught that. But yeah, that was like he goes, he's just a big old bear.
MK says, "LOL started strong and heavy. Todd's done now." No, man, I could keep going, but these guys, like, I always get in trouble when I go over 10 p.m. Eastern. They get mad at me.
Yeah, some of us have a
It is
life and have to
well,
go to sleep.
You know, it is late. We are all old men.
See?
And we need our sleep time.
Yeah, MK, have a great weekend for you too, buddy. Appreciate you as always. Carrots, love seeing you, man. Rageous, thank you for stopping by. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Stuff's coming, stuff's happening. It's just, God, a lot of work. It's just work. It's just work. But a lot of stuff. You saw Andrew's stuff. He's got a lot of pages, so we're gonna get him going too. So anyway, love you guys, and we will see you next week. Until then, goodbye. God bless. Peace out. Take care. Bye.
Enjoy.